Okay, everybody, this is kind of a short video, I hope, on doing a little hand carving. And what I have is a piece that's made this yesterday, just a small bowl out of B-mix clay, and then I put 4 layers of slip, and in with the slip I put a medium blue mason stain in with the slip. So I put 4 layers and using a hairdryer in between each layer. And then what I did is I used a tool like this right here while the piece was spinning, and I touched it right here while I was spinning to clean up the edge, because when you're using your brush to put on the slip, it's a little rough on the edge, so you just clean it up a little bit that way. So anyway, what I usually do is have it run a little slow and clean it up on the edge. So I've already done that. So what I'm going to show you today is I occasionally make pieces like this. This one in the picture is a little bigger than this bowl, and it's not a bowl that has such high edges, but I'm going to try to do this circle part and then show you how I kind of do these, what I call leaves, symmetrically on the piece and work my way out. So I'll get to it because I'm going to try to keep things short. So anyway, I put the piece is still attached to the bat from when I made it, so I haven't ever wired anything off because you want to keep it all symmetrical. And so anyway, I get it going a little faster. I take this tool right here to create the middle part, and starting in the center, work my way out, and then I stop and let it make a circle right at the end. So that's got that part. What you want to be careful of is you don't want to wipe this stuff with your fingers, because you'll mess up the slip and mess the piece up. I'm kind of lucky here that I'm able to pull that out all in one piece. So I have that center piece, and then what I do is on this bat, I have like 3 bumps here. For you, I guess that'd be 12 o'clock. And at 6 o'clock, I've got 3 bumps, and then there's a single bump over here at 9 o'clock and a single bump over here at 3 o'clock. So I use those to help me do my first little pieces in here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do these leaves like this first. So I'm going to start with this bump over here as my guide, and I take this tool right here, looks like this, and all I do is kind of go up, cut like that, cut like that. That's the first one. And then I go spin it around, so I'm going the opposite way on it. And I do the similar, just by hand. Cut like that. Cut like that. And I go this way. And I made this piece yesterday. I let it dry for about, out in the open for about 3 or 4 hours, and then I applied the slip, and then I covered it with a bag overnight to keep it semi-moist, so it was good enough for carving. You know, when you're hand carving, nothing's ever perfect. That's what makes people know it's hand carved. So there you have it. You've got it at the 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So then what I do is I go in between those and do the same thing. Kind of rushing this because I don't want the thing to go too long. And that way, in between, and I just eyeball this stuff. A little steady hand, kind of rest it on the edge of the piece to help. And okay, so there you got in the picture again. Essentially, you've kind of got these pieces. A little later on, I'll go in and carve in these little things using the same tool. I won't do that right now just to save time. So now I'm going to do these ones right here. So I'll show you how I do that. And if you notice, they're up a little higher than the tips of these ones. So that's just kind of how I use my guide. Go up a little ways. Come down to about that point. Just like that. And you just go around and you do each piece, each leaf to get it symmetrical. So I'll just keep going around here on this one. Now obviously, for time's sake, I'm not going to do this whole pattern, but I'll show you these parts and how I do them, and then I'll stop. And when I send this out, I'll in a comment to the video, I will show the finished product, carved product anyway, before firing. So anyway, you just kind of go around, you do each piece. Again, the real key is that 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock as your beginning point. So everything's kind of semi-symmetrical on your piece. And then you just kind of go along and do this stuff. The other thing I'll do, if I get a lot of pieces or crumbs that kind of get in the piece, is I'll take the bat off the wheel and I'll turn it upside down and blow everything out. But fortunately on this I didn't get too many crumbs. So anyway, that's that. So, and then later on I will do same tool. I'll do these leaves and these leaves. I think on this piece I'm not going to do these marks up here. Again, those are kind of fun. Again, I just eyeball that stuff. But anyway, I'll probably do these marks a little later on as well. What I want to show you now is just how I get these right here, these wider carvings in it. And I'll just do one. Do that. And the tool that I use for that, I've got to get up and get here. Wasn't as prepared as I thought. Is I use this tool right here. You can see that. And what I'll do is I'll just start here. Hopefully you can see that. And I just carve down this way. Go over on this side. Carve down this way. Again, take that. I like doing this on the wheel so I can kind of turn things with my hand. I'll go this way. And last. I'll do this. And if you're like me, when I'm doing all of this, I'm holding my breath for some reason, and hopefully I don't pass out. So then I use this tool right here to kind of clean that up in the top. So you can see that right there is the first one, and I'll go around and do all the rest just like I did that one. So then when I kind of get all these, what I'll also use is this tool right here with the little ball, and I'll sometimes clean up, so even got a smaller one, and I'll clean up these edges a little bit once the piece is all carved. But and like where I did this right in here, I'll just kind of use this ball just to smooth it out a tad, you know, and do it. So essentially that's how I hand carve things. Again, the key is keeping the piece still attached to your bat, doing the center swirl, so that's gets real nice, and then do the noon, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. The other thing, sometimes I worry about that things are drying out a little bit too much. So the bag that I cover it with, what I'll do sometimes is I'll take that bag, kind of put it around the edge here, and then I'll just take a clothespin and put that right there, clip it. So that's just kind of keeping the bottom still so it doesn't dry out. So once I get the carving done, wire this off, it'll still be moist on the bottom for me to put the foot on the bowl. So last but not least is once I've done the carving, put the foot on and everything, I'll cover it with the bag. I'll let it, loosely covered with the bag. I live in kind of the arid southwest Utah, and things sort of dry out too fast, so I keep the bag on a little longer, so it dries slow, so I don't get any cracks in anything. Once things are dry, pretty much dry, it's at that point that I'll take a house paintbrush just like this. It's very soft, and I'll use it to kind of brush any residual crumbs. Sometimes, again, it's dry at that point, so I'm not messing up the slip. And I'll use my fingers to kind of wipe some of the things on the edges and then brush away again. So So that's how I hand carve pieces like this. And again, when I send out the video, I'll put the finished carving of this one in as a picture in one of the comments. So I hope this helps everybody out. So I'll do a few more videos later. So hope this helps. Again, thanks a lot. Bye.